welcome back to my channel. If you like this type of video, don't forget to subscribe, to give us a huge thumbs up and press the notification bell. Here we have what is going to be the result for this pattern. It's going to be like a decorative sorting hat for the Harry Potter movie. But if you want a pattern for the full size as well, I will have it available, both of them, on my website. Just have to go and check it out, and I hope you enjoy making both of them, the decorative size and the full size. But if you want to learn more in the world of crochet, I invite you to join us in Crafty Crocheters, a masterclass prepared for 6 weeks for absolute beginners up to advanced, where you will learn everything on this world. More in the description box. We're gonna start by doing a magic ring, and inside that magic ring, first of all, I always suggest to do a chain, and after you've done your chain, we're gonna start working a repetition of stitches. We're gonna work 3 US single crochets or UK double crochets inside the ring. Remember, always the loop from the ring and the loop from the tail should come with you to seal it. This way you can close it up, otherwise you won't be able to close it. You're gonna finish row number 1 with 3 stitches, and then we are not going to slip stitch to close. We are gonna work all the rows in a circle, just straight away, going from the last stitch we worked to the first stitch we work straight away in there. Then for row number 2, we're gonna insert ourselves on our first stitch, and we are going to work in creases. At the moment we are working all the time the same stitch, so I'm just gonna call it stitch 2, don't need to say US single crochet, UK double crochet. And what we're going to do is, in every stitch that we have, we're going to work 2 stitches inside the same space. That way, when you finish row number 2, we are going to finish with 6 stitches. I always suggest that you put a stitch marker at your first stitch so you are aware of where you are. Since we are not doing the slip stitches, you are not creating a gap, a space in between. Completely the opposite, you are creating an entire circle all together. Bring the tail from the magic ring with you, so like that you can always pull it and make sure it's completely closed, since it's the top of our hat and we don't want it to be lost. So continue working your increases, and I'm coming back to let you know what we have to do next. For rows number 3 to 5, we are going to work 1 stitch on every stitch we have worked on row number 2. You're going to do this repetition around, moving your stitch marker every time you are passing that first stitch, and you are going to work only 6 stitches around for 3 rows. Work these stitches around, and I come back here with you to continue working on row number 6. For row number 6, we're going to start by working 2 stitches on the first space, and then work 1 stitch on the rest of them. This means we are only creating 1 increase at the very beginning, and we are going to end row number 6 with 7 stitches in total. This is how little we are doing the increases. If you see the written pattern and you wanted a bigger size, you will be spreading the increases around the entire hat, which you can do right now by simply not creating increases in every single stitch, but start working few of them, maybe 2 of them on this row. Then like that we can create the spike, the peak of the hat, because remember, the hat is really spiky at the very top, and then it's start to create the body at the area of the face. So that's why the first few rows we are only going to increase once. For row number 7, we're gonna work 1 stitch on the first 3 stitches from the previous row, then we're gonna do 1 increase, and then we're gonna work again 1 stitch on the last 3 stitches of this row, just creating 8 stitches in total. So as you can see, this time we have moved the increase to the middle of that circle that we are creating. So continue working those stitches, and I see you in a moment for row number 8. For row number 8, we are going to work 1 increase at the very beginning, then we are going to work 1 stitch on the next 3 stitches, again 1 increase, in 1 stitch on the last 3 stitches. That make us end row number 8 with 10 stitches worked in total. Work them out, and I see you in a moment for row number 9. For row number 9, we're gonna start working 1 stitch on the first 2 stitches, then we are going to create 1 increase, then 1 stitch on the next 4 stitches, another increase, and 1 stitch on the next 2 stitches. So in total we are working 12 stitches around the row number 9. So as you can see, we continue spreading our increases around, so it doesn't seem just too big in one side and nothing on the other. So work these stitches and I see you in a moment for row number 10. For row number 10 we have a sequence of repetitions, which is 1 stitch on the first one and 1 increase on the next one, and 1 stitch on the next one, 1 increase on the next one. Repeat that sequence around until you end up row number 10 with 18 stitches. Work them out and I see you in a moment to work on row 11 and 12. For row number 11 and 12 we are going to work all the stitches around, which means we're going to work 18 stitches for 2 rows. Remember always to move your stitch marker, work them all around, and I see you in a moment for row number 13. For row number 13 we're going to work 1 increase on the first stitch, then we're going to do 1 stitch on the next 8 stitches. Remember we're still working the US single crochet or the UK double crochet. After you've done 8 stitches you're going to create again another increase and again work 1 stitch on the last 8 stitches, finishing row 13 with 20 stitches worked in total. Work them all and then I see you in a moment to teach you what to do next. For row number 14 we're going to work all the stitches around, 20 stitches around, getting ready for row number 15. So work all of those stitches around, and once you count that you have 15 they're all done, I see you to work on the next row. For row number 15 we're going to do a repetition of stitches around, which is start with 4 stitches in the first 4 stitches. So you're going to do 1 stitch on the first 4 stitches, then you're going to do 1 increase, and then again 1 stitch on the next 4 stitches, and so on around until you finish with 22 stitches in total. For row number 16 we're going to work all the stitches around, 22 stitches, and then I'm going to see you here for row number 17. For row number 17 we're going to start by doing an increase at the very beginning, and then we are going to work 10 stitches. So 1 stitch on the next 10 stitches, another increase, and finish with 10 stitches more. So in total we're going to have 24 stitches, and we have created only 2 increases in total on this row. So continue working all of your stitches, 24 in total, and I will see you in a moment for row number 18. To start row number 18, where we are starting to shape the face of our sorting hat, we're going to start by working the first 8 stitches with 1 stitch each. So we are doing 1 US single crochet or 1 UK double crochet on the first 8 stitches. Now in the next 4 stitches we're going to work increase bar of US treble or UK double treble, which is roll the yarn around twice in your hook, insert it on the stitch and yarn over. Then you will have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to work another one inside the same space, and as I say you're going to repeat these 4 stitches around. So do them and I will show you the next step. Remember, it's twice around your hook. Then we're going to work 4 stitches with 1 US half double crochet or UK half treble crochet. Work them around and then we will work on the next eye. On the next 4 stitches we're going to work the increases of the US treble crochet or the UK double treble crochet. Work them around and then we are nearly finished with row number 18. And just to finish, you will work 4 stitches which they are going to be US single crochet or UK double crochets, and that completes row number 18, where you will have 32 stitches at the end of this row. So you can see in here how we created the shape of the top of the eyes, let's the eyebrows for them, and then we can move to row number 19. For row number 19 we are going to start by doing, like in the previous row, 8 single crochets or double crochets. So we're going to work on the first 8 stitches doing 1 stitch each, And then this row is a row of decrease. We're gonna put stitches together. So work those 8 stitches first, and then I teach you how to do a decrease. Now, what we're gonna do are decreases. We're exactly at the top of what we did before the US treble or the UK double treble. So you're gonna insert yourself on one stitch, and normally you will yarn over. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna go straight away to the next stitch. Then yes, yarn over and pull through 3 of them. And you're gonna repeat this 4 times, exactly on top of the stitches we created in the previous one. Work them and I will tell you what to do at the center of the eye shape. Now at the center, where before we worked the US half double crochet or the UK half treble crochet, now we are going to work single crochets or double crochets, depends the terminology, and then repeat again the decreases, finishing with 4 stitches, which again we're going to work US single crochets or UK double crochets, and that completes row number 19, finishing with this shape and 24 stitches in total. For row number 20, we are going to do a sequence of repetition. We are going to start by working 1 stitch on the first 3 stitches. We are working US single crochet or UK double crochets. Remember to always move your stitch marker on the first stitch. And after we've done 3 stitches, what we are going to do is 1 increase. Remember that is working 2 stitches on the same space. And after we've done our increase, we are going to work 4 stitches, and those 4 stitches will only have 1 stitch on each. So 1 US single crochet or UK double crochet on the next 4 stitches, and you're gonna repeat that in a total of 3 times. So now straight away again, you're gonna do 3 increase 4, and then 3 increase 4 again, finishing row number 20 with 27 stitches. For row number 21, we're going to start by working 1 US single crochet or UK double crochet on the first 8 stitches, and then 1 increase, and that's the repetition you're going to do all the way around 3 times, finishing with 1 increase, and this is going to be 30 stitches in total. For row number 22, we are just going to work all the stitches around until we have those 30 stitches well. For row number 23, we are going to start doing 1 US single crochet or UK double crochet on the first 14 stitches. Work them and I show you how to start doing what will be the shape of the nose of our sorting hat. Then we're going to do increases of US half double crochets or UK half treble crochets in 10 stitches, and finishing with 6 stitches left where we're going to work 1 single crochet US or UK double crochet on each stitch, which that means we're going to finish row number 23 with 40 stitches in total. Let me show you how it should be looking by now. For row number 24, we're going to work all the stitches that we have. So we are going to work 14 stitches first with the US single crochet or the UK double crochet. Then we're going to work in the next 20 stitches 1 US half double crochet or UK half treble crochet. And then the last 6, we're going to do 1 US single crochet or 1 UK double crochet. So we are repeating the same stitches than before. We're not creating any increases, but we are doing the combination of stitches. I'm going to show you right now how it should look, and you should continue having 40 stitches in total. For row number 25, we're going to work decreases. We're going to start and end the same way. We're just going to do the decreases on the increases we've done before. So we're going to start with 14 stitches work. Then we're going to do 10 decreases of US single crochets or UK double crochets, and then finish with 6 of them again, finishing row number 25 with 30 stitches in total. We are creating shapes, so that's why we are increasing and decreasing constantly. So work all of those stitches, and I see you in a moment to show you how it should be looking by now and to start row number 26. For row number 26, we are going to do 9 stitches, 1 increase, 9 stitches, 1 increase, finishing on an increase, and 32 stitches in total. So work around your row number 26, and I see you at the end for the next row. The repetition for row number 27 is start with 5 stitches, work with the US single crochet or the UK double crochet, 1 increase and 5 again. And that's your sequence. You need to repeat around 5 stitches, 1 increase, 5 stitches. So you will connect together 10 stitches at some point. And you should finish with 5 stitches as well at the very end. So work them all, and I see you for the next row. This is how it should be looking by the end of row number 27. Now we're going to move to row number 28. And what we are going to do on row number 28 is we are going to start with 1 increase, which is 2 stitches on the same space. You're starting with an increase, you will finish with the sequence repetition. You should not have another increase near this one, they will be spread around. So after you've done your increases, you are going to work 1 stitch on the next 11 stitches. So it's 1 US single crochet or UK double crochet in every stitch for 11 times. And then we're going to repeat the same sequence around, another increase and then 11 stitches. And you're going to finish row number 28, finishing on those 11 stitches and 39 stitches in total. For row number 29, we do the opposite. We are going to start doing 1 stitch on the first 12 stitches. So 1 US single crochet or UK double crochet in every stitch for 12 times. And then we're going to do 1 increase. And we're going to repeat this around, finishing with 1 increase right beside our stitch marker, because we are going to end with the opposite that we started. And by the end of row number 29, you will have 42 stitches worked. For row number 30, we are just going to do 1 stitch around the entire 42 stitches that we have. This is how your hat should look by the end of row number 30. If you wanted to make it bigger, the only thing you will have to do is to the row where we design the eyes, just pull it lower, as low as you want to. And then those rows in between that you're extra creating, they will be increases. So your hat will continue growing over and over and over again. You will have to do 1 row of increases, 1 row of no, 1 row of increases, 1 row of no, until you have the size that you want to, and then you will put the eyes and then create the rest of it and so on. Okay, but right now we're going to continue with this size, which is the size of like a decorative thing, and then like that we can start creating the shape, the circle around the figure. But as I said, for increasing, you just have to pull all of this top bit to the bottom and then create what it is, the face at the very bottom with more stitches, and then like that you will have like a bigger shape of an eye and a mouth. For row number 31 now, we're only going to work the front loop. The front loop is the loop that is facing you on the bottom, on the inside of the hat, let's say. So what we're going to do is on the first one, you're going to create an increase. Yes, on the front loop only, you're going to work 2 stitches in there. So you see, 1, I'm only taking 1 loop, and 2. Move your stitch marker, even if it's really visible, just do it. Just for the purpose of you being using it all the time and then you are used to that. So you're going to move it to the first one and mark it. Then the sequence repetition is going to be, you're going to work 6 stitches, always front loop from now on this row number 31. Front loop stitches 6 times and then 1 increase. Front loop stitches and 1 increase until you reach the very end. And you should finish with those 6 stitches because you already done the increase at the very beginning when you have your stitch mark. Finishing this row with 48 stitches in total. Remember, we finished on the opposite that where we started. Continue working and I see you now for row number 32. For row number 32, we are going to repeat a sequence of stitches, and what we're going to do is we are going to start by doing 3 US single crochets or UK double crochets on the first 3 stitches. So we're going to work 1 stitch on each. Move your stitch marker to the very beginning again and work those 3. After you've done those 3, you're going to work an increase, and then you're going to work 1 stitch on the next 4 stitches. And that is your sequence repetition. 3 increase 4, 3 increase 4 around until you finish with 54 stitches in total. This time you're going to take the full entire stitch and you are working the brim of the hat, That's why we need to continue increasing to make it bigger, but we need to spread our increases around. For row number 33, we're gonna work 8 stitches with just one stitch first. And after we've done that, we are gonna create the increase. So that's your sequence repetition, 8 and increase, finishing with 60 stitches in total. For row number 34, we're going to start with one increase and then move your stitch marker to the first one. We're reaching the end. We only have few more rows left. So after we've done the increase, we need to repeat the sequence of 9 stitches. So you do one US single crochet or UK double crochet on every of those 9 stitches, and then you do again an increase and repeat all over again. You're gonna end row number 34 with 66 stitches, and as I say, we are 3 rows away from finishing, so you're doing really well. Let's just finish the brim together. For row number 35, we are going to start by doing 3 stitches. We're going to do 1 stitch on the first 3 stitches of this row. Then we're going to do an increase, and then we're going to do 7 stitches, and that's your sequence repetition: 3 2 7 3 2 7 until you reach the very end, where you should finish with those 7 stitches. You should finish the opposite of how you started, and you will have 72 stitches by the end of this row. So keep working on them, and I see you in a moment for row number 36. For row number 36, we are going to start by doing the first 10 stitches with 1 stitch each, which is 10 US single or UK double crochets. Then we're going to do 1 increase, and then we're going to do 1 stitch on its own as well. So it's 10 2 1 10 2 1, but actually where you connect the 10 and the 1, it becomes 11. So you should finish with that last one, so you will connect the 10 and the last one together, if that makes any sense. You will finish row number 36 with 78 stitches in total. And last but not least, row number 37. This is the last row you're gonna do with me. We are going to do last sequence, and that is going to be 1 increase at the very beginning and work 12 stitches, and repeat all of that around until you have 84 stitches worked. That finished our hat, but then I'm going to show you one last touch up that you should be aware of, and a way to completely finish this Harry Potter sorting hat that I hope you have enjoyed so far. Remember, increase 12, increase 84 stitches. Now once we reach the end, just need to do a slip stitch in there, and this will complete. You will fasten off right now and finish this project. Now all what it is left, in this case for the decorative one, the shape of the face is already visible and it's already in there, but you could always sew it a little bit on the inside and create the shape if you want even more, or maybe give a little bit of shape to the mouth, make the eyes go deeper and the eyebrows come more outside. That is your choice. You could always stitch in the center so you create a shape, or you could stitch as well the sides of the mouth. At this point is your choice. As you can see, it's a really easy pattern, and then as well it's really adjustable to make it bigger. I will put on my website the written pattern for both, so you can actually see and create it bigger if you want to. But I hope you really liked this video, and if you did, give us a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and why not watch the next video.